Hello and welcome to another installment of Let's Play Civilization 4 Realism Invictus. This is the Asharid Het, and in our last segment we had just successfully taken these two cities from the Maya, who we unfortunately did have to formally declare war against. The endeavor to foment separatism unfortunately failed, although it did yield a valuable lesson about the efficacy of that approach in the future. So I'm not really disappointed with the way things turned out, and in the end we got a double holy city which is endowed with a considerable number of resources, including an additional source of iron. It fences off his empire, which had just connected culturally, gives us access to southern coast here, and makes eventual conflict with the Mongols here more likely than not, because this would have been something of a buffer zone otherwise. But in any case, I am pleased with that. For a good while, it's time to focus on domestic improvement. We just got our, or recently I should say, got our irrigated farms established, so now our cities are not barely subsisting at low population levels. I actually did not take a look at really any of this off screen as I had said I would, so I'm going to do a little bit of examination here. Okay, yep, Temple of Solomon and Pyramid of the Sun. Wow. Interesting. Okay, so those are the two great cathedral buildings for each religion. I don't think you get those by default. 3 turns will have a pop. You already have 6% culture here. Wow. I don't think the Romans are putting out a comparable amount. Yep, still have lots of happiness to grow into. And we are nearly at aesthetics, which will allow us to build a jeweler. I may go drama next or soon. Let's see. Compass, compass, compass. Here it is. Okay. I don't think this should be a classical era tech, but oh well. Yeah, that would take a long time. Yeah, let's do sanitation next. Our happy cap is high, our health cap is not. Well, it's actually pretty good overall. Epidemic chance is low. No, not there. Yeah, I still want to focus on vertical growth, so yeah, we'll do sanitation after this. And then I want to go through and make sure everything is as we want it as far as labor allocation goes. Okay, I'll want to put a scientist here once the library is done. Okay. Yeah, we can't feasibly work the scientist here. I'd like to, where feasible, work scientist because of that Korean observatory wonder, but in this case it makes more sense to work cottages, so that's what I'll do. Okay. And then diplomatically, he's still at war with the West Africans and the Poles. Okay. Now these battering rams should upgrade directly to catapults. They do. Okay. And trebuchets and yep, okay, so that's a linear path. Definitely makes sense to keep these then. Once provisional government's gone here, we might need to garrison them for the separatism reduction. Yep, okay, we're going to keep growing here. Makes no sense to work a scientist there. Alright, Tikal expanded. Alright, let's see how much Durango grabs. Yeah.
Art for art's sake is an empty phrase. Art for the sake of truth, art for the sake of the good and the beautiful, that is the faith that I am searching for.
Ah, okay, so this actually reveals gems on the map. I hadn't made that connection before. Okay, and this opens up the classical art era, which we're probably well behind the curve on. Yeah, we do also have slavery still, so we don't want to have our cavalry tied up as a garrison. Yeah, this is a pretty big empire for the time period. I was going to play tall, but I ended up conquering instead. This still was probably a good move here, although pesky Rome got these potatoes. You know what? We are going to do drama next. I want theaters and the ability to run culture. Matter of fact, Yeah, I wish there was a way to sort the type here, like look for art in particular. Just glancing at it though, it looks like a lot of that classical art is still up for grabs. We don't really have any artist points though, a very little bit. There's at this rate, which it's not going to be the same ratio, but at this rate, in 49 turns, there's a 20% chance we'll get a great artist. And I believe the first building, just generic building, that allows you to run an artist is the theater. Yeah. I'm a little annoyed at how much culture he's generating here. 15.75. Yeah, that's going to be hard to compete with. He'll get his pop in 46 turns. Yeah. We're not putting out that much. And there really is a momentum effect on culture, so the earlier the better. But like I said in the previous video, when you have a bunch of wonders in one city, you can't really compete with it for great people birth. So like putting a bunch of artists in one city, unless you can produce more points than the passive you get from the wonders, then you'll never get the specialist there. Oh, that's their special improvement. I was going to say, why did he not pasture that?
Die ganze Welt ist Bühne, und alle Frauen und Männer bloße Spieler. Sie treten auf und gehen wieder ab. Sein Leben lang spielt einer manche Rollen.
That's cool. Yeah, whoops, let's go ahead and take that emphasis off of the Maya. Gee, I wonder what culture that spy came from. That means it's Mongolian. Okay. This archer's almost here, then I can relieve the cavalry. Yeah, we may have overextended. We're teching really slow. If they can get like an era or two ahead, that is very, very threatening. Finding that balance is hard to do. One, two, three, four, five, 6. Okay, we'll get rid of these 2 forests probably. Yeah, we'll get our pop before he gets his. Let's go ahead and do the theater first. And then it's been a while since we had a slave revolt. Knock, knock. Alright, another border pop here. He's getting hemmed in. Yeah, we're still score lead. We really kind of kicked the Maya down to relative ignominy. Alright, that's going well. He's only pleased. Yep, you're getting ahead of us. How about some commerce? Normally they don't equate a luxury and a health resource the same, but I guess he did. That or the relations bonus was good enough for it. I guess trading resources doesn't create a peace treaty. That's what I was going for, but a mandatory peace treaty. But yeah, tech trades used to, but that feature has been disabled. Normally, I wouldn't build this many farms, but I mean, I've said it many times. We kind of have to compensate. But now our population is approaching a decent level. I mean, we're still 6th, but our cities are not tiny anymore. Still medium size, except for these 2, of course, but we just conquered them. Still medium sized for this time period, but no longer really, really concerningly small. Alright, Swede the Great. There is one civ that is probably going to win the game eventually that we haven't met, who most likely started on a continent by themselves and has filled it out already, and somehow won't sustain a massive research problem like the player would if they did the same thing. Okay, not sure what that even did. Might have had an effect for the AI, and it's just notifying me reciprocally. Garrisons are a bit thin. I want to fill that out a little more. We don't need happiness in the capital at the moment. Okay, 21.6, 13 turns, 32. So we'll get our pop before him. 21, 15. Okay, yep. So we're outproducing him now. There, but not here. Still mostly Maya, but since they don't exist here, it's a contest between me and Rome. Okay, that's pretty high. We will definitely need a bath once sanitation is finished. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mention this before. Well, I may have, but in any case, to repeat, if so, along with each art era, as represented by the available great works that are enabled by a certain tech and obsoleted by another, there's also a flat modifier that you build for each one. And actually, I didn't notice till now there is a prerequisite. For the classical requires a minimum threshold of libraries, and that's just a flat culture multiplier. So just another facet of the culture game that you neglect at your own expense. See, if Rome has that and we don't, they're getting a 10% edge on us, all else being equal. I like how they fleshed out that side of the game. And they gave it so much style and individual flavor. You know, these are all represented by real pieces of classical art. Just has a fun, immersive, historical feel. Alright, ooh, that's a big one. See, this is a good reason to have Blitz. However, none too soon with that archer. I mean, this is a walled city, and slaves are pretty terrible. I doubt they would have taken it, but you never know. Yeah, the what we had before was just a regular archer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7. Okay. He'll probably suicide on the city. That would really suck if he took it, but I don't see that happening. Good thing I built the bowman here, though. Otherwise, that more likely than not, I would say. Yep, he's gonna go for it. You'll have to forgive the lag, especially as the game goes on. It has a good frame rate in general, but it stalls when loading certain motions. Ah, crap, I should have given him City Garrison. Whoops. Okay.
All right, but apart from the sanitation, medicine, education, wine, public order, irrigation, roads, the freshwater system, and public health, what have the Romans ever done for us?
Yeah, let's do Compass. Alright. Yeah, we weren't about to die or anything, but still. None too soon on that extra unit. We're coming up on 1 AD here. It's sort of a milestone moment in the game. Matter of fact, yeah, we'd still need Compass for that if we went for mill machinery, which we'll want sooner rather than later. And before too long, it'll be time to replace these slave farms with regular farms as well. Yeah, we need peasant servitude to get the hemp. That is probably why it was not already improved. Yeah, that riverside commerce stacked with the cottage will be nice. Imagine real estate here, nice little forest to your south, hills to your east, a nice little freshwater lake. Okay, about to get a pop here, 23. Yep, we're outpacing him still. And just to make that mechanic a little more clear, to those who may not know, the way that the cultural pressure is exerted is, despite what you control on the map, there is like a natural range of the city output, which is just these adjacent 8 tiles at first. And then as you get your first border pop, colloquially known as the Big Fat Cross or BFC, as I mentioned before, every interior tile will get plus 20 for every successive interior distance it is. So the outer 12, will receive just what the city's output is, represented by this number. And then the interior ones will get 20 plus that number. Once you get your next border pop, it'll fill in the double gap here, put 3 more on the extras. Then what you gained on your big fat cross will get 20, and then the interior will get 40. And all tiles will get the city output on top of that, including the border ones. So even though we don't control this on the map, because we have a third tier pop, effectively we're putting culture here, and now 20 plus the city output here. And so you can do math and see over time how it will shift between two cities, especially if you have the espionage intelligence here. You can see over time how control will shift on the map, and then on the bottom left you can see that spread with the tooltip. He still has a majority over us, but if we can outpace him, that won't last forever. I was his worst enemy for like 2 turns. That's kind of stupid. I wouldn't mind getting an artist, actually, at this point. However, if it's another engineer, wonders are good sources of culture, too. Christianity was founded about the right historical time, too, off by about 1 lifetime. Yeah, I'll keep the artist here. We'll lose provisional government here pretty soon. And then we'll want to have plenty of archers and garrison unit here. Oh, whoops. Speaking of that, you don't belong there. I thought this looked a little thin. Yep, they sustained an epidemic. Which can spread along trade routes too, same way as religion. Yeah, I'll go for it. We could use the failure cash if we fail. And spread in his own city? Wow, that's good, considering it's his founded religion. Okay, good, we've got a library here already. Yeah. Ooh, that's much better. Seems like that was only 4 just a couple turns ago. Maybe it wasn't. It didn't have the artist before, I don't think. They probably automatically put an artist in once. Yeah, it couldn't have because it needs the theater for that. My bad. So that's a lot better. 18, 20. He's getting his pop, but we're still outpacing him. 15. Yep. Nope. You need to keep working the artist. And we got the potato. Yay, that was what I was mostly concerned with. But I really want to get these borders nice and tight early. Alright, and we're coming up on 1 AD here. There we are. I will, epidemic. I will, however, keep playing for maybe 15 more minutes.
Ein weiser Mann folgt nur sich selbst.
Okay, that gives us another food on our fishing boats. God, that is going to take forever. Medieval tech is still penalized until 480, when the historical Middle Ages in Europe sort of began, give or take, depending on the school of thought you subscribe to. I do kind of like how the game incentivizes you to stay in the era. It shouldn't punish a meaningful beeline, but that elasticity effect is kind of palpable and interesting. With peasant servitude, we don't need the levy because we have access to good strategic resource units. The hemp plantation wouldn't be worth teching for. Guilds, however, yeah, lumber mill, that'll be useful. I don't want to obsolete the pagan temple, so we'll avoid theology. Yeah, the medieval works of science might be worth going for as well. Yeah, I think this is a good tech path for now. Yeah, that's a valuable tile, this potato here. Islam has been founded. Interesting thing, whoever founds Islam gets, I think, 4 units of some pretty good cavalry that represent the original Mujahideen. It's a cool effect. $35, not bad, not bad. And now that we have these farms, the city's kind of growing. Still piss poor with food, but yeah, we don't need local autonomy. It's not going to grow up to that anyway. Let's do a weaver shop. I underestimated those originally. They're kind of nice. Alright, now they have positive separatism. Woo, that's rather high. Once again, none too soon on this extra garrison unit. I don't want to mess with 7%. How about let's make that 1%? Yeah. watch it happen anyway. That would be my luck. Yeah, we're starting to slide down a little bit on power. That's not going to be tolerable in the long run. We managed not to have an economic crash. Oh, right, this revolt. Yeah, that's not the best build for now. More units. Alright, you're one away. Do a regular farm there. Blitz for you. If I can keep those cavalry units alive till they become tanks, well, tanks get blitz on their own anyway, never mind. Unless they change that. Just promotions don't expire when units upgrade, so whatever these upgrade to will keep all their experience if they don't die on the battlefield. Okay, provisional government removed, and they have positive separatism also.
Free trade is not based on utility, but on justice.
I don't want to give local autonomy or traditional custom is great. I don't want to get rid of it. Plutocracy could be interesting if you have a super capital, especially. I think this is probably the closest analog to bureaucracy that you can get, where in the Beyond the Sword you just had a 50% commerce and hammer bonus to your capital. We'll stay in traditional custom though. Now, is that an empire in the city? I can't remember. There's no limit on national wonders. It's the city, I think. There's no limit on national wonders, though, so I'll build that in my capital. to 0 now. Alright, another engineer. Friedrich Ljungstrom invented high-pressure steam boilers, the Ljungstrom radial turbine, new methods for gasification of oil shale, new designs for fishing boats, and most notably new steam turbine locomotives. Alright, here's another free wonder we can get. Let's build it on that culturally pressured city. It is only 4 culture, but obsolete basically at the very end of the game. Ooh, or we could bulb a very expensive tech and launch us straight into the medieval era. Well, 35 turns, it's not as bad as it was. However, when you advance eras, the slave revolt units are represented by the levy of that time, basically. So, well, levies peculiar to the medieval era, but we'd be fighting 6 strength units rather than 3, if we stay in slavery, that is. But it would allow us to build this as well, and that would be kind of nice. If we did that, yeah, Lubeck would become unhappy because entering the new era will give us 1 unhappiness, 1 unhealthiness. That's easily remedied, though. Wow, they don't even have currency, dynasticism. Yeah, that'd be pretty early to be jumping into the Middle Ages. But I mean, we're heading for guilds anyway. Yeah, let's do it. All right, time to go medieval now. All right.
Give the peasants neither life nor death.
If that wonder had more culture output, I probably would have done that instead, because that would have been the primary reason. Ah, the manor requires walls. That makes sense. Okay. Now with serfdom, we'd still have serf revolts, and as stated, they would be the 6 strength units. We wouldn't be able to capture them as slaves, though, and sacrifice them. Now, yeah, you can spend gold to finish production. That's pretty nice. It's not too prohibitively expensive to do either, and it does give you instant production. We're running out of things to do with our workers as well. So I will probably switch to serfdom here. This is probably a good place to stop. Just a nice little segment of domestic growth. But yeah, I'll probably switch to serfdom, build levies, beef up my garrison, and honestly probably play a peaceful game, at least as far as it depends on me, through the Middle Ages. And then I don't know what kind of victory we'll go for, but if it's domination, I think later in the game is a more appropriate time to wage that kind of war. Once a really solid base is built up. All right, well, I will give that some more thought in the intervening time, but thank you for watching, and this is the Ashard Hat signing off.